What is the key to recruitment? It is pay, we know that, but if what is the key in policing? Because it's such a unique job. What is the key for you in your mind to recruit good men and women that want to come be in Phoenix PD?
And let me first start by thanking the mayor and council for the recent pay raise. That's significant. But people don't join this job for the pay. They join because of the service and the commitment that you can have in improving community. So, having a heart of service and being willing to step forward and help folks and really have that in your DNA, I think is key to anything else. And then you get to be part of a city like Phoenix that is growing and has all kinds of amazing things happening. I think we have a lot to offer here at the Phoenix Police Department and in Phoenix itself.
What do you think of the city now that you've been here for a while? What do you think of Phoenix as a city?
It's an incredible city. I came at the right time of year, Mike.
Yeah.
I've talked to some folks where I came from back east, and the weather's, let's just say, not near as nice back there right now.
So let's talk about the DOJ investigation, because that's one of the major reasons why you're here in Phoenix is to oversee that investigation. Where is it at, and where is it going?
And I would direct you to the DOJ for comment on where it's going. What I can tell you is we've been talking with them. They were actually on site here last week doing part of their investigation. And regardless of what their investigation finds, what I can tell you is we're going to line this department to make changes, to make reforms. And we're going to do that regardless of what the DOJ finds.
You've been known to successfully monitor or get through one of this process somewhere else. What was the key to the success having done this before, and what are you bringing to the table to have that success here?
It's really becoming a self-assessing, self-correcting agency, and that's a lot in just a short sentence. But being able to identify when there's problems, not wait for somebody else to identify those problems and correct them immediately. So. That really is the key. And then working collaboratively with community, with the department itself to institute change.
Let's talk about that collaboration part of it. Have you had an opportunity to speak to other leaders in policing around the Valley in this month that you've been here? Because Phoenix PD recently, working with other agencies, made some major arrests in child sex trafficking, which is obviously a blight on every community. But it would really seem to be a team effort with other cities. Is that an important piece of it as well?
Other cities and our state and federal partners as well. There's incredible partnership around the Valley. I've got to meet a number of those leaders in law enforcement, and we need to strengthen those partnerships. Given the challenge that we have with staffing, that's one way that we can still be as effective as we need to be is making sure that we have those partnerships well developed.
There was a question I asked you the first time you and I had an opportunity to talk, and you said you were going to take a look at where it was headed and how it was doing, and that was getting guns, illegal guns that have been modified off the street, and getting people off the street that aren't supposed to have them, that do have them, or selling them. How is that going? Is it something that's going to continue in Phoenix?
Absolutely. It's something we're going to focus on. I think before I got here, we had Operation Gun Crackdown. I've extended that until December 1st. But even after December 1st, that's going to continue to be a focus. We've taken nearly 2,000 guns off the street since July 1st. But, that's a number. But I think what's more impressive is the quality of what we're taking off. 1,500 of those guns, over 1,500 of those guns are what we call crime guns, guns that are involved directly in crimes. So taking the right guns off the street are critical, and then holding those folks accountable that are in possession of those guns.
That was the other question about accountability, because unless there are severe punishments attached to committing crimes like that, people don't really have any reason not to do it again. How is the relationship with the prosecutors in the city and with the county attorney's office? Are you feeling that they are aggressively prosecuting these cases?
I've met with prosecutors already multiple times since I've been here. And they're committed to, particularly the county attorney, to prosecuting these cases.
Chief, I asked you this already about your assessment of Phoenix PD, but what has that motivated you to do? Like, what were your first steps? What's job one for you right now?
I've been focusing on making sure our officers have the skills they need, especially those first responding officers have the skills they need to safely diffuse situations, so everyone ends a situation safely. That includes briefing training. Talking about time, cover, distance, slow things down, be able to tactically handle those situations, then bringing in nationally based experts in de-escalation and being able to have scenario training that will spread across the entire department, and then finally a deep dive into our policies and making sure that we have the gold standard when it comes to our policies here. And that's one thing the Department of Justice certainly will be looking at as they go through their investigation.
Is it difficult to have time to do that when you're as short-staffed as you are? You've got to cover patrol. You've got to have officers on the streets. How do you take the time for them to be adequately trained in all of these tactics you're talking about?
And we have to do it. It's very, very challenging. That's one of the reasons immediate training in the briefings, so you don't have to pull officers off the street. But that's less than ideal. You need to be able to pull officers off the street and take that dedicated time. And it's something we just have to be committed to make sure that it happens.
Since we're on this topic, I'm sure, I don't know if you've seen the video, but the video that surfaced online of two officers involved in an arrest where it appears if at least one officer kicked a suspect that was in handcuffs after they had been shot at by this suspect. Can you kind of address how that happened and what you saw or what you were thinking when you saw it?
I do want to correct the record. I've seen a number of headlines that acted like we reacted to this video. We acted immediately upon our investigation when it revealed the things that are out in the public right now, and immediately instituted an administrative and criminal investigation. I'll wait for that investigation to be complete and see where we go from there. I think, I believe in the process, and we'll see where that process takes us.
There are people that believe that that is the norm and not the exception. Do you believe that that's the exception, that the majority of officers in Phoenix and across the country don't behave in a way sometimes that are outside of policy like that?
It takes the conversation away from the incredible work that's going on. That's what's frustrating to me. We talked about the sex trafficking case where we took 16 folks that were preying on the most vulnerable of this area. We don't talk about that. We don't talk about the nearly 2,000 guns that we've taken off the street. We don't talk about we have a Desert Horizon precinct. Their net team has seized 1.3 million fentanyl pills this year.
Wow.
That's incredible work. And that gets lost when other situations like this that are very rare come up.
So while we're on this topic, the Office of Accountability and Transparency, how do you work with do you have any connection in working with that office, and are they going to have a say in this investigation? Are they going to do their own investigation into this?
I've met with the director of OAT several times since I've been here. We continue to have those talks. He is monitoring several of the cases that have occurred since I've been here. I've not received a monitoring notice on this case, but we will work with that office however we need to.
Is there a timeline for this investigation in your mind? How quickly should this investigation be over so that the citizens of Phoenix and your office can make an assessment and have judgment on how this was handled?
I don't put pressure on investigators. Whatever the investigation takes for a thorough and complete investigation, that's what we'll do, and we'll turn that investigation over to the county attorney.
So in addition to a policy investigation, it is a criminal investigation?
That's correct.
Well, I appreciate the time, as always. It's got to be interesting to have come to this, this at the time that you have. Any final words for the citizens of Phoenix and for your officers that may be listening?
This is an incredible community, an incredible department. I'm blessed to have this opportunity right now, and I look forward to meeting folks that I haven't met across the valley.